Thanks, everyone. And also thank you for letting your pig, your permanently invited guest, do a foresight, sorry, an insight today. He's blown it already. Get him out. Anyway, right, without any further ado, hands up, anyone, if you had one of those days. You've had just one of those days. Well, I'm going to take you back to one of those days, quite a while back, April 2005. At the time, life was good. I'd just finished a major redesign for a US national magazine to do with sailing. I'd been over in Boston helping the design department implement it. I'd even been paid. It was great. It's a Monday evening, typical wet April Monday in Mac. I'm looking out the window now. We've got one of those today. I was sitting in my local boozer. I was having a pint in my usual spot. I'd just finished a particularly good Taekwondo training session. I was fit. I was happy. Everything was going on. I've got the crossword in front of me. I've got a pint in hand. Familiar faces around, you know, the sound of the fruit machine, the jukebox. But you know what? Something wasn't quite right. It's only about 7 p.m. But the crossword's a little blurry. The lights seem a little too bright. The jukebox sounds a little bit too jangly. And I thought, time to go home. But just before I stood up, I suddenly realized I was going to black out. You get that feeling where it goes speckly, everything starts going a little bit grey. And all I could think about was, how stupid am I going to look blacking out in my local pub? Right, fast forward 12 hours. I'm in my GP surgery, and she's doing all the usual prods and pokes and blood pressure checks and asking all these questions. But none of it's important to me because I only had one question of my own. Why can't I see? The GP then told me that I'd had or was still having a massive stroke. They couldn't tell. So 2 hours later, I'm in the general hospital in Macclesfield, undergoing MRI scans, x-rays, being pumped full of warfarin, anticoagulants, you name it, they did it. They even brought out the machine that went ping for me. That's how serious they obviously thought it was. So imagine a clock face, everyone. Nice round clock face, from 12 o'clock down to 6 o'clock. Well, on that side of both of my eyes, I was blind. My sight had gone. It was like looking through, there's a black wall and you can only see round half of it. And all of this was quite blurry as well. I had no short-term memory. My short-term memory had gone. So if you told me your first name, by the time you told me your second name, I would have forgotten your first name. It was that dramatic. I couldn't read. I could recognize letters, but this is really important. This is one thing I've learned through graphic design as well. We read by shapes. We look at the shapes of letters and we then break the words down into separate bits. So a long word, we will do the first bit and the second bit and put it all together into a word. And we do this using shapes. By the time I got to the last bit of a word, I'd forgotten the first bit of a word. So in effect, I could no longer read. Not good. I could see the words, but they meant nothing. The doctor said it was akin to dyslexia and probably wouldn't go away. Same with the short-term memory loss. They had no idea what was going on with my eyes. So the outlook was pretty bloody awful, to be honest. So that night I lay in Ward 10 and thought, well, how can this happen to me? I'm less than 2 months off my 40th birthday. I'm fit, I'm healthy. I've got a 5-year-old son, a 4-year-old daughter. This can't be happening to me. But there it was. There I was, and it was. That was Tuesday night. I actually got up out of my bed on Friday morning and walked home because I wasn't going to stay in that hospital and die. No way. I was not going to be a dead father that my children would remember by looking at photos of someone saying, that was daddy. I had my own company, but of course I couldn't work. Therefore I couldn't earn. I had savings, but you know, they weren't huge. And I tell you what, when I set up Smooth Designs in late 2000, I'd taken up what was known as critical illness cover. Go and talk to your insurance people, folks. Go get it. I'd forgotten about it. I've been paying premiums all the way through. It's probably the most important financial decision I ever made in my life. As I say, talk to any good financial advisor, get it sorted. I was able to pay off the mortgage. Didn't have to worry about money for a while or having a roof over my head. I won't tell you how that turned out. Ask my ex-wife. I still love my job and my company, but could I go back to full-time work? Life made that decision for me, and I had to, and I found myself having to work again. But this time, I decided to do it on my own terms. You all know about the 20-80 rule. 20% of your clients create 8% of your profit. I worked out the 20% who they were. And surprise, surprise, they were the clients I enjoyed working with most. The ones who really appreciated what I did. And that was the moment, thanks to my stroke, that it changed my business life. I ditched the 80%. The ones who were always moaning about, can you do it cheaper? Or can you them? You all know them. You've all got that 80% in your client list. How did I get rid of them? Put my prices up. Simple as that. You get rid of the problematic clients immediately by putting your prices up. The ones who I enjoyed working with and the ones who appreciated me said, about time. Not a problem. It's about time you did that. And they really didn't bat an eyelid. And suddenly I thought, I haven't been valuing what I do. And I certainly haven't been valuing what I'm worth. And it nearly took me dying to fully learn and appreciate this. That's when I was 39. Yeah, I should have died. They don't know why I'm still here. My sight did come back. Don't know why. My short-term memory came back. I taught myself how to read again by doing children's crosswords and children's puzzles. I now turn down work, and I don't work just for money. I mean, that's really important. To be able to say to people, no, I'm sorry, I'm either too busy or you make an excuse, or no, that's not my kind of thing, but I can recommend you to someone else. So I love referring these people to other people, because then, you know, it still means you're in the game, and it also helps out your colleagues. So I don't know why it happened to me. But another major aspect of this, I was supposed to sign a 5-year lease on a beautiful studio in London, in East London. This signing was supposed to happen the day after I had my stroke. So again, I think the universe was probably telling me something. That London studio would have pulled me away from my family, would have caused me even more stress, all sorts of things. Now, I still love what I do, and I'm so thankful that I can do it. And I'm still around to kind of tell the story. Now, I'm no different to any one of you good people here. I have my ups and I sure as shit have my downs. But I now understand that we all do. And especially for us guys, there's no shame in admitting it, folks. It's not weakness. It's not unmanly. Oh, it's human. We're all human. It's true. And it's honest. And trust me, I don't have any answers for all of this. It's something we'll have to work out for ourselves. But every day is a struggle. But as human beings, we're built to cope with it. We are physically amazing. We learn, we adapt, we cope, we heal. So all of you out there, be successful, be a survivor, never give up. None of us are dead quite just yet. And do you know what they say? If life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Don't make lemonade. Slice it up, pop it in a gin. That's me. Thank you very much.
Oh, Jonathan, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing and being so open and honest. And do you know what? That's so inspiring to hear. I had no idea about that period in your life, and it's just so amazing to hear that journey that you've gone through and your philosophy on life now. Has anybody got any questions for Jonathan? We have got time for one quick question. Very poignant. I agree, Joanne. We've got a chance for one quick question because we do need to move on, I'm afraid. But that was such a fantastic presentation. My question to you then, Jonathan. I've got a very quick. Oh, sorry, Jeanette. Go on.
No,
I'll
fine.
ask
It was,
Jonathan when
it
it's
was,
time.
yeah, no worries. Why, it's a rhetorical question, really. Why does it take something like that for you, me, everybody to act on and change things? Why can't we just change without that big wall hitting moment?
It's just extraordinary, isn't it? We all do it, and it either takes a a near-death experience, a moment on the motorway when you think this is it, or your life flashes before your eyes. And yeah, it is really strange because we don't actually, I don't think we appreciate what we've got until we've nearly lost it. We all take too much for granted. We take everything for granted, don't we? The fact that
Yeah.
I've got a roof over my head now, the fact that I'm actually plugged into a computer, everything that we take for granted. And it's when it's the possibility of it taken away that you think, no, I really appreciate that. And yeah, it's extraordinary how it takes us, to be right on that precipice, that we take a step back. But
Amazing.
it's the same with
Amazing.
it's the same with our planet, really, isn't it? It's going to take, what's it going to take before we step back and start doing something right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's human
So
nature.
true.
I think it's human nature.